Hello, divine ones. Hello, hello, hello. Hey Gemma, how are you, darling? I'm a little late to this Q&A. I could not get my regular computer to go live for some reason, something to do with technological stuff that I'm not very good at. So I found another way, so I'm happy to be here. Hi Alana, how are you, darling? Good to see you. It's such a juicy topic that I can't wait to talk about with you right now. I've just got my husband and my little girl on the monitor just here, so I'm multitasking. I've got my puppy by my side. I wait for a few more people to come on, and then I'm going to dive straight in. How are we doing? I look like I've got like boy hair because of the way that the light is. I look like I'm wearing a wig, but I'm okay with that. It's fine. I'm sitting here. We've moved into a new place this week in California. It's amazing. I'm looking out at a sea of ocean and I see lots of dolphins. Hey Jen, how are you, gorgeous? Hey Stevie Nicks, come here, darling. Stevie's not sure what to make of it. She's still getting used to everything, aren't you, sweetheart? Oh my goodness, I can't wait to get this conversation. The one thing I'm going to say up front is please, please, please bring your comments to this conversation because I want to hear from you. Oh, thank you, Alana, you're so sweet. Boy hair, right? I do have a ponytail. All right, I'm just going to dive in for the sake of time because I'm already running behind. So today's conversation is something that I personally used to slip into. So it's that real damned if you do, damned if you don't. Many of you are terrified of missing out on having a soulmate relationship in this lifetime. You just watch 1 year roll into the next and you're just like, oh my God, is this ever going to happen for me? Is this, you feel like your eggs, like the clock is ticking around even being a mum, for those of you that want to be a mum. And it's just this constant fear of, feeling left behind. Oh my gosh, all the good ones are taken. And it's just this underlying anxiety and panic that eats you alive. But then on the flip side of that, it's the fear of actually having a soulmate relationship and allowing someone into your life. Because obviously that would require you being vulnerable and letting down your guard. So both options can feel just as bad as each other, it's kind of ironic, isn't it? That so many women that come to me would just say, gosh, I really want to meet my soulmate, but it would honestly feel easier to fly to the moon. It just doesn't feel like something that I'm going to be able to have. It just feels really foreign. It just feels like a dream. It just feels like it's for other people. Who in here right now can relate to this? Because before I move on, I want to hear from you. And even if you've gone through soul to soul, which many of you have, Alana's going through soul to soul right now. Jen, you've been through soul to soul. So have you, Gemma. When you came to me, where were you sitting in this conversation? Was it both? You're scared to have one, but then scared not to have one? Were you just scared of missing out? What part of the conversation were you in? I want to know. I'll eat my banana bread while I see you comment because I want to have your interaction as well. So Alana, right now, what is it for you? Are you terrified of, I can relate 100%. It's easy to believe that it won't happen. Juicy. Alana, why is it easier to believe that it won't happen? What's underneath that for you? Why is it easier? I know, but I want to hear from you. No pressure. She's just like, why is Lucy directing this at me? Hey Jody, how are you, gorgeous? Because it keeps you safe. Boom. Yes, Alana. So who here is terrified of having a soulmate relationship where it's easy to believe that it's not going to happen? Yeah, and even if you're catching the replay, I want you to post your comments because it's really good for you girls to see yourselves in each other, to go, oh my God, I'm not the only one hiding. I'm not the only one fearing this. And collectively, once we can heal that wound of not enoughness, hey, gorgeous Judy, There's Jody and Judy. When you can see that we're all made up of the same stuff, like I used to be that person. And now I'm teaching women how to have a soulmate relationship with themselves so they can attract it in. But I want you to really hear that. I used to be shit scared of the whole, anything to do with love, anything to do with letting someone into my life, having to be vulnerable, used to scare the living shit out of me. But then I was able to shift that paralysis, that fear, that abandonment, that not enoughness into enoughness. And that's what you girls want too. That's why you're here. That's why you're watching these lives. And I literally am just representing to you what's possible. Okay, so don't ever put me on some pedestal, because that is not serving you, and it's also bullshit. I am you, you are me. Alana also said, oh no, Jen said, I felt like it was a chasm between me and my soulmate, and now it's all filled in. Oh, I love that. Okay, beautiful. So yeah, so I'm just going to hit on, the main points with this conversation for those of you joining is, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. You're scared to have your soulmate come into your life, but then you're also scared of missing out on not having a soulmate. And what happens is you end up, it's like falling between two stools, because you're not committed. You're not in one story. You are, as Alana said, just playing safe. Hi, Ramina, how are you? Hi, Jazz. I wrote down, here we go. So if you are scared that you're not going to meet your soulmate, a lot of that pain, that anguish, that anxiety is going to come down to you feeling like I said before, the clock's ticking. You're not going to be a mum. You're not going to have family. You're going to end up alone, die alone. Hi, Kat. And that you're also not going to be supported, especially in times like this with COVID. It's very confronting, I'm sure, for many of you to kind of go, shit, like, we're in lockdown, maybe not in Australia anymore, but definitely in America, definitely around the world. It's this horrible confrontation of like, oh, whoa, in this moment, in this crisis, I am alone. No one physically has my back. I'm not saying your friends and family aren't checking in on you, aren't holding space for you, but it's scary. I was thinking of myself going, God, if I hadn't done this work, I would be having a freak out, to be perfectly honest with you. Like, I get anxiety. I know for a fact, I used to have crippling anxiety, and I know for a fact, hey Neha, gorgeous, that this would be bringing up a lot for me, and it would be absolutely putting front and center my not enoughness. So I just want you to know there's no shame around that, but what the opportunity is in going, is this really how I want the rest of my life to look, COVID or no COVID, right? In the next, if there is another round of COVID or another something else, do you want to find yourself hugging yourself to sleep, or would you rather spend your life with someone? This is the decision that you've got to make now, because in my opinion, you are being gifted on a silver platter the opportunity to rise, the opportunity to dissolve any of these limitations, any of the abandonment, the fear of missing out, the fear of loss, the fear of not being good enough, the abandonment, all of the trauma, all of the shit, all of the limiting stories that you have been nurturing and holding. That's why you're single. Now is the time to actually be able to focus on yourself and to dissolve the fuck out of these issues so that you can step up and meet the love of your life. Because I've got clients right now during COVID who have attracted in their soulmate relationship. Just coming back to this comment here, Jody said, not anymore, my queen, because you've chosen to shift this and we hold full space for you to do that. Yes, to Alana. Yes, Jody. I love it. Jody and Alana are going through soul to soul right now. Jen said, oh God, the same. I'd be having the biggest pity party if that I was alone. And why was I alone during this? Blah, 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 blah. That's your old story now. I've had an incredibly powerful up-leveling time. That's so potent, Jen. Jen, you're a friggin' rock star. Jen's from New Zealand, and she recently did Soul to Soul. And, another beautiful woman fearing love. I mean, I just attract all the beautiful women, I have to tell you. I literally, everyone that comes in, I'm like, you're so beautiful. This is a travesty. We've got to sort this out. So it's just not true that you can't have a soulmate relationship. You are buying into such a shit stabbing story. Please take this in right now. How much longer are you going to groom and nurture and massage this shitty story that love just doesn't work for you, that there's no good men left, that it would have already happened by now? How much longer are you truly going to be that person that is willingly putting herself in the category of, well, I'm just fine, I'll just miss out. I'll just be the auntie. It wasn't meant to be for me. It's not in the stars for me. That's bullshit. You are the creator of your future, of your destiny, of your life. Not a horoscope, not what your friends are saying, not what society is saying. Your life is going the way that you think it into existence, the way that you feel it into existence. And you're either vibrating with what you want, and you are using your energy and your thoughts to put into the future that you want to live into, or you are living in the past and projecting it into the future and regurgitating it and repeat and repeat and repeat and wondering why nothing is looking any different, wondering why your life feels like Groundhog Day. And then you get attention because it's sort of like, well, people feel sorry for you, and it's another way to get attention. Now, not all of you are doing that, but some of you are so sad and are feeling so lonely, and what's happened is you are so used to putting on the jazz hands and I'm fine and I've got this face that you don't know who you are. That's the scary part. You don't even know how bad it is because you're so busy pretending that everything's fine and putting on this show and just, oh well, it's going to happen one day, and that's just hope. Hope isn't a strategy. Hope doesn't help you dissolve 30 years of conditioning. Hope's not enough. We need more than hope. You need action. You need a support system that's going to lift you up, to get you home to the fucking majestic, amazing woman that you are. And you deserve that support. Trying to figure it out on your own, darling, A, it's a waste of time because how has this worked out for you? But B, you are worthy of support. I just had a beautiful girl. Go and watch Kate. She's got a testimonial. She literally just finished Soul to Soul. She brought me to tears today. And when she came to me, she had been single for 12 years. And she said, I thought it was weak to get support. I was like, I'm going to figure this out on my own. I don't need support. I don't need to invest in that. I'd rather invest in, getting renovations. I know for many of you right now, that's you. You're putting your energy and your priority into things that are outside of you. A house, a car, a trip. Maybe not a trip right now, but maybe you're saving up for one when everything lifts. Those things aren't significant unless you are thriving inside of your heart space and feeling your own light and basking in your own light, your own glory, your own gifts, your own enoughness. That's like winning the lottery. And that is your birthright. And it's a choice. You either want to live your best life and grab today by the horns and by the balls and by the ovaries and go, fuck this suffering. I'm sick of my scarcity. I'm sick of my excuses. I'm sick of settling for not getting what I fucking want. I'm sick of using all these bullshit excuses to keep myself small, to keep myself safe, so that I don't have to risk getting hurt. Let me tell you something. When you get on your deathbed, you are going to much prefer having loved than having not loved. And you're going to prefer to have gone, I loved with all of my heart and I received it back. And that was worth everything. No, you're not going to have control in a soulmate relationship or in love. Because love is not in the same frequency as control. You don't want to be in a relationship that you can control anyway, because that's not thriving. That's just like, icky. Yes, Jody, you said you tried to figure it out on your own for years. It got you nowhere. Now you're changing your life. Yeah, you are. And Jody had a lot of scarcity. So I'm just checking my baby on the monitor. Make sure my husband is not smothering her. 1 second. Oh, so cute. Very, very cute. Okay, good. So, look, the other thing is, so I said, this is what makes up you being scared to meet your soulmate you being scared that you're not going to meet your soulmate is burning through a lot of your good energy. And you're worrying about something and putting your energy into the worry, which is keeping it away from you, right? So it doesn't ever work out to worry about not having a soulmate relationship. All you're doing is putting more resistance in the way year after year after year. But just quietly, you're loving that because it means you don't have to step up, and that suits you. But then we've got our women that are scared to have a soulmate relationship. And I know that sounds ironic and you're like, no, that's not me. I'm not scared to have a soulmate relationship. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Otherwise, you wouldn't be wrestling with this. Alana said, I realize now they are excuses, but before I thought it was the reality. Whoa, mic drop. Thank you for sharing that, Alana. That's such a powerful point. You realize now that they are excuses. It's like you've got these new set of eyes on. It's like, hang on a minute. I am full of shit. Such a liberating moment, right? I had that moment myself. I was like, I am full of so much shit I can't see straight. How did I not see this? Why didn't someone whack 2 saucepans over the top of my head so that I could wake the fuck up? Well, I'm doing that to you right now, but without the saucepans. I'll use my hands. Wake up. Your life is right now. Your life is not beginning after COVID. Your life is right now. You can get engaged during this crisis right now. I had Anams and our friends got married on Zoom the other day because they have an attitude of nothing's going to stop us. Let's do this. Let's not wait till everything's over. Let's just fucking use today. So, being scared to have a soulmate relationship is because you're scared you're going to lose your independence. Please chime in if this is you. Please add to this conversation because I'm holding this conversation for you. So I want to hear where you're at, what you're resonating with. Okay, you're scared to lose your independence. You're scared that once you get this relationship, that it'll get taken away from you anyway, that it won't last. Right? I know many of you are feeling that one. You fear that if you allow in a soulmate relationship that you're going to lose your freedom, that you're going to have to compromise and give up a part of yourself. You feel that if you allow someone into your world that you don't know how to be you. You don't know how to be in a soulmate relationship. You don't know how to be in a relationship, period. It's scary for you. Just the thought of like, who do I be? Oh my gosh, if a guy's telling me he loves me, he wants to commit to me, that scares you to bits, many of you. Even though it's what you want, it also terrifies you. So whether you're scared to miss out on a soulmate relationship or you're scared to let one in, the bottom line is that you, my darling one, are hiding from your light, from your beautiful divine feminine, your sensuality. You're hiding from your ability to be intimate with someone else because you're terrified to be intimate with your own self and your own heart. You don't look in the mirror and go, fuck, I love you, you're amazing, you're beautiful. That's not what you do. You look in the mirror and you judge yourself. You'll say, oh, you look old, or you look tired, or you need to get your roots done, or. That's the person who's missing out on a soulmate relationship right now. And that's the woman that you're looking at in the mirror. You are missing out on a soulmate relationship with the most important person in your life, which is you. Fuck the guy. We're not even at that yet. You've abandoned yourself a long time ago because you felt abandoned. Love does not feel safe for you. And you've got about 45 bodyguards and they grow every year. And you give them handsome paychecks and they are loyal. And they are multiplying. Because it doesn't feel safe for you to let someone in. The fear of that not happening or not working out or being taken from you, it's just too much for you. And so then you hang on to the same bullshit stories of, well, maybe love just wasn't meant to work out for me in this lifetime. I'll just be the godmother. I'm just an independent free spirit. I don't really need love anyway. Bullshit. Sorry. Not sorry. It's just not true. I have women also trying to convince me, oh, no, I don't want family. Mind you, I know some of you definitely don't, but majority of women that come to me do want family. It's just that they haven't even admitted that to themselves because they're so terrified that they're not even able to have a soulmate relationship. And then they're like, oh, well, I'm not even let myself even think about having a family. I've just kind of put that way out there. Or it's conditional. Well, I'll only have family if I meet the right guy or if he wants to have children. What the fuck is that? You gotta know what your dream is, sister. What do you want? Do you want to be a mom? Does that light you up? Fuck being perfect. There is no perfection when it comes to motherhood or relationships. But do you want to be a mother in this lifetime? Do you want to be deeply held, supported, and loved for everything that you are and everything that you're not? Because I sure as shit am not perfect. And I hate the idea of perfection. I'm not perfect. My clients know that. Like, You know, if I'm teaching and I have to breastfeed, I'll just breastfeed. You know, if I'm a retreat, if I need to do that, I'll do that. I'm not trying to show you girls a perfect picture. I have a really cool throne, which I love. Hey Tash, how are you, darling? But there is no perfection when it comes to love. What it's about is taking a risk to be who you are. And that's what feels scary for you, is you're like, well, I don't know how to be self-expressed. I don't know how to ask for what I want. I don't know how to take up space and to hold my power. Guess what? Neither did I. I used to suck at that. I'd basically meet a guy and I cared so much about what he thought. I'd be like, hey, here's my power. Take my power. Oh, here's my confidence. There's my confidence. And I would just hand it over because it meant more to me for them to like me. Hey beauties. Don't know what happened there. My iPad just suddenly got over that conversation. Maybe it was everything was already complete, but it was charging. So I'll just take that message from the universe that everything was already said. Just to finish off that conversation, hey Jody, at the end of the day, you're the only one that can fight for your dream. And my women are total rock stars because they're willing to admit that they don't have it all together. They're willing to get support because they're not willing to go one more fucking day in the same old story with the same limitations and not having their life the way that they want it. And they realize that getting support is the most powerful gift that you can give yourself in this lifetime. Because until you're willing to actually invest in yourself, right? Like, I mean, time, financially, and really make yourself the priority, you're just putting yourself off. You're not making yourself the priority. And then you can't be surprised when men aren't making you the priority, because we attract who we are. We don't get what we want. We attract who we are. Does that make sense? So if you're vibrating as a clear vessel to receive and you really believe that you are worthy and you feel that deeply, then you'll attract that in, no problem. But if you're sitting there questioning yourself, you're scared to be all of who you are, you hold back, you want to hide, you withdraw, you make excuses, then you will miss out. Because the universe favors the bold. The universe doesn't favor dabblers. If you're sitting there dabbling or you're just waiting and relying on hope, then you're going to be waiting a really long time. Jody said it was a strong message and told with so much power. Thank you. My pleasure, darling. So, yeah, you either want to play the understudy in your life and just keep copping out for yourself and getting in your own way and putting reason upon reason upon reason as to why now's not the time, because of COVID, because of this, because of that. It's all BS. And that's not me not being compassionate. I care too deeply about helping women liberate their lives too much. And you can't let a financial investment be the thing that gets in the way. You've got to understand that we live in a universe that is full of resources. And if you needed heart surgery this week, you would find it. And heart surgery is way more than the investment for soul to soul. But what I'm saying is, when you really want something, you know that you can create it. So stop with the nonsense. Stop ripping yourself off and talking yourself out of actually getting the support that you deserve. And my team and I would be delighted to speak with you if you're in that place. Only if you're in that place where you're really ready to do whatever it's going to take. If you're just interested, I'd say hold off. Don't book a call with us, because we won't invite you in. And you have to be ready, because the work goes really, really deep. We're not here doing, getting as many people into my program as we can. It's just not how we roll. You've got to know that there is something massively at stake by you not solving this. You've got to know that your dream is on the line and that nothing is going to change until you're willing to face yourself and be with yourself and learn how to get your heart open, plugged into your beautiful feelings, get that vulnerability tapped in, turned on. And it is like winning the lottery when you come home to the epicness of who you are. You're actually going to be like, oh, what soulmate? What? And he's just going to come in because you're so lit up by your own life and by yourself. And that's the law of attraction. It's filling up your own love tank, loving on yourself, not with a mani-pedi, but truly healing those parts of yourself, healing the shadow, transforming them into light. and getting into your sensuality and your feminine and connecting with your beautiful vagina and your pleasure. Many of you are so in the masculine. Some of you haven't even had an orgasm, and that's common. I have a lot of women that come to me and they're just like, I have never had an orgasm. And I'm like, you know what, darling? It's because you're wound up so tightly. It's because you don't let go. It's not that you have a faulty vagina. It's just that you are so concerned about what the man thinks and you don't trust yourself. You don't let go. Of course you're not having an orgasm. And orgasms are fucking epic. You should be having them daily. Because we're allowed to have pleasure in this lifetime. Even during what's going on in the world right now, this is even more of a reason to put your dream as a priority, to connect with your light, because we're no good to people when we are living in suffering and scarcity. We're no good to anyone. We're not going to raise a collective consciousness if we're just sitting there in fear and fear and fear. And that's what I'm seeing a lot of right now, is all this reactivity of people, well, if I post that, then I'm a good person. Or if I do this, I'm a good person. No. Sit down, connect with yourself, connect with the divine, and just do your bit to take care of yourself first before you go trying to save other people. Now my daughter's awake. So I'm sending you so much love. Please post your comments on, this live or the last live, and we'll get to those. And don't be one of those people that's scared to have what she wants. Just fucking go, you know what? I want to have a soulmate relationship, and I want to first of all have that with myself, and I'm going to make that my mission, because when you do, you will have a soulmate relationship with someone else. But first you've got to learn how to have it with yourself, and I can obviously help you with that. Mwah. Very excited as well to let you know that my book is coming out in the next few months, and I can't wait to share the link with all of you girls as well. I know you're going to get a lot from it. I've put so much content in there that's going to really help you as well. This is the perfect time to do it. More physical hours at home, and the universe is up leveling right now. It's exactly right, Jody. Jody's so cool, girls, because Jody was sitting on the fence for a while wanting to do soul to soul, and she just kept getting in her own way. She's just like, oh, I don't know, I'm just too scared. She wanted to control, and she was also scared of the investment. And now, woo, she's cooking with gas. She is flying, and she is you. Okay, so just because you have fear does not mean that it's not right. It's about feeling the fear and jumping anyway into the unknown. Because quite frankly, right now, life, there is so much of the unknown, but this is the good unknown. And that's where miracles are born. Mwah.